Greetings petrolheads, my name is the Tom, you're on my gaming channel and it's time for another episode of Automation the Car Company Tycoon game. Today I'm going to build a replica requested by Parker Barandon. Like, originally he requested me to build a Koenigsegg Regera, but when I said that is unfortunately not possible with the current game build, he said, well then do any Koenigsegg then. And I was like, okay, well. And here I am building a attempting to build a CCX. Obviously the basic body shell here needs a good bit of morphing because it is very McLaren 12C-ish, if you didn't notice that yourself. I'm not sure if you just heard that, but there were some pretty loud motorcycles outside. I should probably have shut the window, but anyway, the rear window is really short and way smaller than this one on the real car. Like, I don't even know if you can call it a rear window, because it is actually just a joke on the real car, but you know, I'm not gonna be the one to complain when the car goes the way that this one does. Let's put this car as well. What else? Nose is pretty flat on the front here. Yeah, the roof is pretty big. I think we should, just like that. It is obviously carbon fiber. I think it's mounted longitudinally, if I'm not mistaken. We don't have any other option here, really, than double wishbone front and rear, because I'm pretty sure it's not running on McPherson's. And what kind of wheels does it have? Yeah, probably. Yeah, more than 295. I can tell you that much. Probably like 355, if I had to guess. That would be kind of the same as a Viper. I'm gonna make the front end a little bit wider and then use some rim offset. Okay, first of all, what we really need on the front end is a black lip, which is, you know, plastic in this game here, but it doesn't really matter what it's made of, as long as it looks the part, right? I can't put it further down. Are you kidding me? There we go. So that is there. Okay. Wait a minute. What if I turn it around? Oh, then it looks absolutely terrible. Okay. Let's leave it as it is. Okay. Further down again, please. Thank you. Okay. What do we got as far as fixtures go? We got one of these grills right here. That is not very well, kind of wide like that, but not like across the whole front or something like that. Then what else we have here is one of these vents. At least that's the one that comes closest, I figured, where the fog lights go. And it's just the positioning a little bit. This goes actually a little bit further down. The positioning needs to be more like that. And then we have the, you know, set fog lights in here. Like that. And we don't really have a main grille on this whole arrangement. Like no main grille up here in this area, this is just blank. We got a bonnet scoop, a pretty narrow one, and it is more like that. And other than that, I think we're good to go to like start our work on the headlights, because you know, what would a car be without headlights? Especially an exotic one like this. Now, the only slight problem there might be is that the edges of these headlights are really rounded. So what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm happy with the size here. This is alright. What I'm gonna do is instead of making the basic outer shape with exclusively rectangular ones, I'm gonna use some oval ones as well, and make it so that they overlap with the rectangular ones, like so. So they get a little bit better of a flow. This is gonna look absolutely terrible for a little while, but once we actually get closer to finishing them, you'll realize that this is basically the only way we can do this. And okay, we want one more that goes like from here all the way over to the end there. Okay, and then we want, well, almost all the way to the end at least. We want one of those right there at the corner to smoothen things out a little bit. Put a little bit of shake hands there. Yeah, so this is going to be put down a little bit diagonally like that. And we need to increase this thing's thickness a little bit. Make it flow a little bit better. Maybe rotate it some more. This does not look like a real CCX though. And for that matter, I'm going to add a little bit of, wait a minute, what kind of angle are we looking at here? It's more like this, and then connect those two together. This is a little bit too large, or a little bit rotated improperly. Okay, better now in terms of outer shape, I would say. So let's fill the remaining gap down here out with one of those, and then we can put the single headlight fixtures in there. We got 3 of these that are, you know, ones like right here. You can't really see them that well now, but they exist. That one's quite clear to see, I think. And then that one goes like right there. I'm pretty sure that this last one is actually an indicator on the real car, but it is not orange. It is actually, you know, colorless, if you will. like a normal light bulb. And this still looks like a 12C kind of, doesn't it? But anyway, oh, I forgot one little detail that is gonna occur in multiple parts of the car. That is going to be some black applications on which I'm going to put. Come on, please let me put it down on the mirrors. What the heck, why is this so small? Oh, there we go. Yeah, this does not really look like a Koenigsegg. And one more thing I forgot is the vent on the side here. Just quickly choosing a different picture here. Okay. Those have like massive, I don't know what they're called, massive edges, if you want to call them that. Which I'm going to simulate with, what the heck? Is that supposed to, that's not the way you're supposed to be on there. No, not that. Yes, that one. That's what I want to adjust now. So let's put... Oh my god, these things are so huge when you put them down. They're a little bit on the buggy side when you put them down on this area of the car. Not like that. I want to increase the length. So, and then we're gonna have to do a little bit more work. Oh my god. Whoever created that fixture, please, because it's not standard, it is content of the mod pack. Please fix that. Please make it a little bit less huge right off the bat. If you're watching this, of course. If you aren't, then you never know. I just asked for something. Anyway, we are done with this right here. And that thing needs to be wider. It needs to be right here in order to be seen. It looks more like Koenigsegg now with those applications. Still kind of 12C-ish. But what we're gonna do, we're also gonna need these things back here in order to simulate these Carrera GT type, I don't know what they're called, on the rear. Can we put them onto the roof? On the side of the roof? We actually... Looks like we kind of can. But not really. Let's make it so they're in the middle of the other ones. Then stretch them. It does not look anywhere near the real car. That's the closest we can really get. Like, look at that. On the real car, it's like all the way over here. Like, it covers basically this much. Like, the actual rear window is basically from here to here, and everything else is covered by those things, and we can't really do that in the game. I'm sorry for that, and they are also much higher on the real car. But I think what we're about to do now is just go ahead and work on the tail lights and, you know, the rear end of the car, just in general. As tail lights, we have 3 fixtures: a white one and 2 red ones. Just trying to figure out what the perfect position for those would be. Like here, then 1. Maybe these are actually too small. I think they might be, especially the white one. More like that. And then another red one. Like right there. Good. Now that that's done, we need some black in our lives. What we're going to do is put down 2 of these, I think. Let me think about this for a second. We want, first of all, one of these up here, so there's a little bit of body panel left between it, or between the upper edge and it. What kind of height does this have? That's pretty much it. Okay. And space is there between it and the taillights? Less, so let's make it a little bit longer. And then put down one of those right on top of that. You know what? I think I'm gonna do this in a different fashion and put this down like so. Then we're gonna have enough space for the number plate on here. How big is the number plate? A little bit more. There is some space on the top and at the bottom, so basically like this. And then, my friends, we're gonna be putting down some of those. How exactly? We're gonna want a little bit of curve down here. Actually, we want the curve to begin with, from like all the way there. And then have it go like that, all the way. All the freaking way across, because there's gonna be, you know, the black, you know, There's basically a stripe on a real car where it says CCX on it, on the side, like here. Actually, yeah, like right there. Right there. Okay. But first of all, we gotta make this work out here. We're still in the rear end. Let's not get too carried away just yet with the side. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make one of these to fill up the gap here, and then put down some more of those. Hopefully they don't get destroyed by the panels like the one we put down first. It looks alright. And between those two we need another one. And that one immediately just got cracked. But you know, what are you gonna do? What do you want me to do about that? It's not really something I can do a whole lot about, other than maybe try and put one of those on top of them, which actually seems to work. And not for long though. Okay, good. That is basically that. No, I wanted the middle one. Yeah, that one. That one's what I wanted. This one's a little bit too long. It stands over to the actual grill we put down a minute ago or so. Okay. Just make this just that little bit higher. Look at that. Doesn't this come closer to a real CCX? Anyway, even if it doesn't, we're still going to make progress here. How far does this go? Not very. So I think this would be about the correct length. Angle should be like so. Goes all the way to the wheel arch. That's a little bit too much of an angle. There we go. It's not completely straight, but it is. Yeah, you know what? Let's make it like so. Because it does have to go at a little bit of an angle. And then between those two, we're gonna put another one that's gonna be about this height, just so it covers both of them. That was a little bit too far back. Put on this. Adjust this placement a little bit, and then make sure that it's not as rough at the end here as it is. Just make this whole thing a little bit smoother. Here we go. Just imagine it says CCX on there. Imagination is sometimes, you know, it's almost always very important, but especially in a case like this where there's just no way to make it work properly. And actually we have one of these vents on the side. Only difference is that on a real car, like the way this fixture is put down now, the air would have to flow in this way to really make it work. But on the real car, it's more like the openings on that side, so the air would flow in that way. And it looks a little bit different, but it's basically the same shape, almost at least. So I'm gonna be content with that. And since the real CCX does not have a wing, which is kind of ridiculous with 806 horsepower, neither will we put down one, but we still got work to do, especially with the rear bumper that I'm gonna get to in a second. But first I'm gonna put down a little detail that it has, like right here, a white indicator. Here. And well, how am I gonna do the exhausts and the rear bumper? Because that is also a main characteristic of the design of this car. Let's see, we are definitely going to use a grille as our exhaust. Just trying to see which one. Probably that one. Like that. And then the smaller one of that inside of it. Wait a minute, I need to adjust the positioning first. And then the size. Like this. It actually comes pretty close, doesn't it? And for our diffuser, we're gonna take some time, more than anything else, because it's kind of complicated. The diffuser is about as high as the inner one of these exhausts. But it's also kind of swooping in a curve, like here on the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make one of those, like, when does it start to go? It's never really straight down. Only like right here. How much space is there? There is less space between the bumper and the exhaust, so let's put these closer to the exhaust. And there's gonna be that one. Actually, the angle is less. The angle is steeper. That's what I'm getting at. Like so. And then we have another one. Goes pretty much that, but only as high up as the inner one of the exhausts that we put down. Like so. And then it goes... Okay, then it goes straight for a while. Oh, then when I adjust this fixture, I wanted to adjust the length of that one. Wait a minute, this placement is a little bit messed up now. There we go. Please, thank you for working this time. Like that. And the actual bumpers are not that huge. So, like the diffusers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna the same thing I did on the on the other side of them and make a curve of them going down, which is what they actually do. So I'm gonna make it. And then just a little bit of an angle. Like so. And then make it go straight down from there. That's gonna be the outer shape that we're working with. And we have connecting these two that go straight down. We have one of these goes straight across. And then how many more elements in there? And there are two. Okay, so let's put them in like one right there. And one right there. That's gonna be that. We of course still need something like a kind of vent behind those elements in order to make it look black like a real diffuser. So what kind of vent do we want here? Which one fits best? Let me think about this for a second. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna put down one more of these things, because it would also cover the area between the exhaust and the diffuser, which I don't wanna do. I think this one might work pretty well, because we can kind of cover the edges with the... Oh, actually no, it overrides the black, you know, diffuser element things, whatever you want to call them. So that right there, and then up top we want maybe some of these. No, not like that, like this. How does this actually look? Does this look like a real Koenigsegg bumper? I don't think so, but well, let's try a different vent up there. Well, let's try multiple vents for that matter. Let's try one like that. And then one like this. Try this on for size. That looks better, doesn't it? What we also still need is the braking lights. Actually, how convenient, they look pretty much like those. I don't need to mess around with that. I really want to repaint this car like white or so. And this does not really look like Koenigsegg because of the 12C-ishness of it. Like this car looks so much like a 12C, even though all the fixtures are as close to a CCX as is possible. It still looks like a 12C. Like, you can't really get that out of this body shell. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and build the engine now. It is rear-wheel drive. It is a 4.7 liter twin turbocharged aluminum V8. Like, it is twin supercharged on the real car, but we don't have superchargers in the game yet, so we have to make do with turbochargers. It is 4 valves per cylinder, if I had to guess. Let's leave VVL out of the equation for now. I did not find the correct bore and stroke ratios of this engine, so I'm assuming that's a little bit higher bore than stroke. It will probably have iodine titanium conrods and forged pistons, if I had to guess. Probably want a really aggressive cam profile, if I had to guess, because it will need to produce a lot of power. I got the specs of its output right here. It's got 806 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. So we want a little bit of overrun, maybe like 7,400 or something like that. And the compression ratios, I think I read that somewhere it's 9.1 to 1. I might be mistaken on that, don't take me for real here. But it will need to run a lot of boost. Especially considering, like, I don't think it's possible to have 9.1 compression ratio here. Especially because it is running on 91 octane fuel. That is something I read. And it makes this honestly a lot more challenging to replicate that engine with proper output. Torque is 920 Newton meters at 5,500 RPM. So we need to make this thing spool up relatively early. It is direct injected. I don't know, twin configuration? Maybe even a throttle per cylinder configuration, but definitely a performance intake if you ask me. Regular, as we said, we want a good amount of timing, like 75 or so. We want a little bit of overrun over our peak power, and since we don't have anything else than short cast headers, we're gonna go for those. We need plenty of diameter to support 806 horsepower. Let's make it a little bit bigger even. So we are not making enough power or torque, and the power kicks in too late. So what I'm guessing is we are gonna actually, the cam profile seems to make things go in earlier. No, that is about as early as we get. We need to, first of all, we need to decrease the turbine size. No, fuck it, we're gonna increase the turbine size. Reason for this is that we need the torque to come in a little bit later, like 100 RPM later, but the power to come in earlier, and we need more power. So guess that's what I'm gonna do here. I think we need to lower the compression quite a bit so that we can now increase the boost, because we need more torque. We need 920 Newton meters, but we quote unquote only need 806 horsepower, so we Need to... Yeah, that's almost it. Only thing we really need is less power. That's not something you hear very often, is it? How are we gonna make the torque increase but the horsepower decrease? That is a good question that I don't necessarily know the answer to. Yeah, this setup, the way I've got it set up right here, is actually terrible if you want to go really fast, because the turbo kicks in so late that you can't really use it effectively. What about we give it some more ignition timing? That is too much. Of course we can always decrease the compression, some more even. This didn't really help, did it? Let's see if this 56, 5400, 5600. Can you make this torque a little bit earlier, maybe? No, later, maybe? Okay. It does not appear to be kicking in earlier if I decrease the compressor size. But we are pretty close to the output now. The 806 horsepower needs to come in earlier though. $803 at 7,000. That's pretty close. Oh wait, we can increase the compression again. 807, that's too much. Wait a minute, we can do this and then decrease the fuel mixture, like lean it out a little bit. There we go. I think I'm content with that. 806 at 7,000. A little bit of overrun. 928, that's a little bit more than we actually need, but it is running on 91 octane fuel. It comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox as standard. These black applications on the mirrors just look ridiculous. Let me do something about them. How they look now? Better, okay. Let's go back to the trim. I don't know, the game just crashed when I tried to go back to trim. Wait a minute, let me go to name. I haven't named that car yet. Where is it now? What is this one? That's a completely different one, isn't it? Yeah. What the heck? It did not save. It did not save that car. Are you kidding me? That was so much work. Come on, please. Not only did it not let me go back to the trim, it also crashed and deleted the car altogether. Oh my god. Well, anyway, I've shown you how to make at least as close as you can really get to a Koenigsegg CCX in this game in its current build. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please click the like button, it helps out a great deal. Also consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.